Next LeetCode question we have is encode and decode strings. So I've already done this question. Let's understand the approach to do this. And encode and decode strings. What the question says: describe an design an algorithm to encode a list of strings into a string. Okay. Encoded string is then sent over a network and is decoded back to the original list of strings. So the question is, we have to implement two methods, encode and decode. So it's something like this. This is the input. You have to encode it into something. Let's say encoded string. This is something, and from this encoded string you need to convert it back. Convert it back into original array. So that is the process. Decode. Encode. So these two methods we need to implement. So initially it looked simple because of this example. Because of this example, it looked initially very simple. How, I'll tell you. So you have this. You say what key I'll join this array into a single string with a separator. Let's say a separator is this thing, a colon and semicolon. So this becomes something like this. So the encoded string will be this thing. Okay, good. You'll iterate over each of the item and concat. Add the word and add the separator. Okay. Then again you will loop over this string, and if you find this separator, means you have found an end of the word, then you will make it a insert into the array as a string. Similarly you will do for this, similarly you will do for this, similarly you will do for this. This approach looks simple, but it has some drawbacks. Even though this approach will make our all test cases pass. So I'll show you the code. So in encode, so to handle this case, when the array is empty, we are returning an empty string. We'll have to handle here in the decode. Okay, and we are having a results string, and if okay, we have the results string, and we are iterating over the strings array, and first we are pushing the item into the string concat, and in between we are adding separators. So we have this separator here in between lint and code, and in between code and love, and between code and love and you, but not at the very end. So we are handling that case with here. So if you are not at the end, keep adding the separators. This is our simple encode function, and in the decode we are just splitting the string with this separator. So it converts this string into the array. Okay, simple. But this is not a good approach, and let's see something better now. A robust format is this. So you will have length and then a hash. A hash is not mandatory, you can have any character, we are choosing hash. Then the string, then again the length of the next word and hash and the next word, string itself. Example, lint code and a colon and s. This array becomes 4 hash lint, 4 hash code, 1 hash colon, 3 hash yes. And now by looking this string we see that we can convert it back to array, because it says we have 4 words of 4 length word ahead. This is lint. This said we have 4 length word ahead. Okay. This says we have 1 length word, that is a character, that is colon. And again we say we have a 3 length word, that is s. So we have to achieve something like this. Let's see how. So you can ignore this. This is just an improved and a bit more cleaned version of the same algorithm as above. So we have seen this approach. That is a simple one that I have told you, but it has drawbacks. Uh, but I haven't told you what are drawbacks. First of all, this will fail when this approach will fail when the strings is, so let's write here failures. Strings is this. So because this is a single element, will not have any separator or anything, we'll just have a string that is empty, and if string is empty we are returning empty array. So we have lost and this to this. That is a failure case. Another failure case, what if strings is this operator itself? You will convert this into this thing, this string and the separator. I'm doing some mistakes here, I'm not able to revert it. Hmm. So we are converting this array into this string, and we will convert this into two empty strings because that's our separator. So we saw like the drawbacks of this approach, this simple approach. Let's do something better. So we have to achieve something like this. I have told you. Loop over the strings, note down its length, concat hash and the string, and keep till you reach far end and complete the whole array. This is encode logic. So encode logic is here. Simple. You start with empty and length, hash, and the string. Do it for all the strings in the array. Return the result string. Okay. Now, I have cleaned this function a bit more, and that is more readable. Let's see that in the decode what you are doing. So here's the example. So suppose the string was this hello and world, an array containing hello and world, and the string will become 5 hash hello 5 hash world. Okay. So we'll keep looping over this string one character at a time till we reach at very end of the string. Okay. So word length, let's initialize with empty. So we are in search of a word till we find hash. Let's get the length. So here in this case it will be 5. We'll collect the word length and we'll keep the pointer forward. And now we have to skip this hash also. We have skipped the hash with a moving our pointer forward. And next, word length, we are converting it into a number because see word length is string, right? So convert into a number, and we are in search of a word, so let's initialize it with empty string. Now the length is 5. We got the length 5. Now we have to collect 5 characters. Now we have also skipped hash. We have to collect 5 characters because that is our encoding logic. So we'll loop exactly 5 times. Start with 0 and till the length, till j is less than length. Okay, and we'll keep concatenating that character into word. So that will make our word formation. It will be H, then E, then L, L, and O. Okay, and we'll also keep uh, progressing on our string pointer, our main pointer. And once we are done with that, we will push that word that we have just collected into our array, results array. And we'll keep repeating this till we are like out of the string. We have exhausted the whole string. So this is our decode logic, and we'll just return the result. Above one is also similar, but it's a bit more difficult to read version. Like I have changed the for loop to while loop, these kind of small improvements. So let's talk about the complexity of this program. The complexity is here you are looping n times. N means the array length, that is O of n, and here also you are looping to the string's length, means string length, that is length of all the strings of the array. Suppose we have hello and world, and if you combine these two, it will give you 10, and we have some these separators also, so that is also the thing to consider. But it's not growing exponentially, but it is still in the range at par with our our array length. So we can say the complexity is O of n and space is O of n because we are returning the result array, that is exactly same as what is the strings, what is the strings array, and in between we are creating this thing, result strings array, that is the result of the encode, I mean this thing. So it's also on par with what we are receiving as input of array or its length. So that makes this complexity as linear complexity. Let's try to run this program, and as we have discussed, this is a kind of paid or premium question, so we are on LeetCode site. Let's run this and submit.